Welcome back to This Week in Louisiana Politics. I'm joined on set here by State Representative Richard Nelson. Full disclosure, he's also a candidate for governor. Representative Nelson, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the couch. This is the first time I've used the couch.
Good deal.
So we brought you here to talk about HB 12. You've seen some success. It has passed out of the House and the Senate. Essentially, this bill would keep a third grader from going to fourth grade if they can't read at grade level, right?
If they just can't read, period. So it's not just at grade level; they have to be, basically in the really the bottom, like basically unable to read.
So a real deficiency.
A real inability to read.
So when people hear this bill, they know the obvious reason for it. But just in your own words, what's the stated purpose? What sort of problem are we looking at?
So about that transition period from third to fourth grade is where you go from learning to read to really reading to learn. And so if you don't have those basic skills, being able to read by the time you go into fourth grade, you're going to end up falling behind. And
so third grade is pivotal.
Yeah, it's really the point where really the inflection point where you're really going from learning to read to reading to learn. And so you're going to continue to fall behind. Studies show how it's going to lead to probably increased risk of dropping out of high school. I mean, even increased risk of crime and all these other things. It's really going to hold you back for the rest of your life if you're not able to read when you're going into fourth grade. And that's why that point is so important. And so what we're trying to do is to make sure that everyone is ready before they go and take that next step. I look at it kind of like swimming lessons, right? You wouldn't push somebody into the deep end of the pool if they weren't able to swim. Well, it's the same thing if somebody can't read and you're pushing them on to fourth grade.
What sort of problem are we looking at? How bad is it in Louisiana?
So based on the LEAP test, about half of our third graders can't read on grade level.
Wow.
Based on the national test, it's about a quarter to a third are struggling to be just proficient readers.
So if they take the test and they can't, just flat out can't read, they don't go to the fourth grade. How many tests are there?
So what we're going to use is basically an assessment that they're going to be given 3 times a year from the time they're in kindergarten to the time they're in third grade. And it's really that test at the end of third grade where we're going to say, well, we're going to measure you and make sure that you meet this minimum score. And if you don't, you're actually going to get a second attempt at the test at the end of third grade, and then also a second or a third attempt in the end of the summer after you get some training or some tutoring in the school year and that month in between. You take it once in April, you probably take it again at the end of May, and so you have some time to kind of catch up, and then you have it again at the end of the summer, and you can get summer school in between those times. So it's really going to require you to fail that test 3 times in order to actually be held back.
So this was tried in Mississippi, and you've seen some success?
Yeah, so Mississippi implemented this program in 2013, and in the period of time between 2013 and now, they were 49th, right below us in 2013, to now they're 21st in the country in fourth grade reading, which is when the national government measures it. And so they've seen crazy success from using this program. And we've done a lot of the other changes. This is not the whole piece of the puzzle. There's a lot that goes into literacy. We've passed a lot of bills. I passed them last year. My colleagues in the legislature have passed them over the last couple of years. And so we've done a lot of things, but this is the one piece of the puzzle that we haven't put in. It's this kind of accountability, this third grade gate that is really going to, I think, produce the results that we've seen in their neighboring states.
The bill did have its critics, of course. Some of them called it an unfunded mandate. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, K through 12 education is the biggest line item in the budget outside of healthcare, and so the state government gives $4 billion plus every year to local school boards to basically have them educate kids. So I think if we're not teaching them to read, that's where all the money that's what we should be spending that money on. With all this billions of dollars, if we're not actually teaching kids to read, which is what this bill is designed to measure, I don't know what else we can spend the money on.
The critics also pointed out that in other states where this has been tried, they saw that 8 to 10% of the students could not pass, and if you look at the numbers in Louisiana, we're looking at possibly thousands of kids that won't advance to the fourth grade. Do you have any concerns over that?
So yeah, no, that's a good point, and I mean I think that's really where it shows you, that's where the rubber hits the road, right? So in Mississippi, they held back 8% of third graders when this first came into place, and that number continuously declined because the system actually works. It actually improves people's the kids' ability to read, and so those measures continuously decline, which is how you're able to see this is actually something that will improve the outcomes for the students. And so I think that 8% number is something that we could probably expect, which is about 4,500 third graders would be held back the very first year, and then it will decline after that. At the same time, when Mississippi implemented implemented this, they hadn't done a lot of the things and a lot of the steps we've already taken to improve our scores and improve our literacy rates. So I think we're moving in the right direction already. You know, we've done a lot of intensive training for teachers on phonics. We've adjusted our curriculum to really focus on phonics as the right way to teach kids how to read. And so we've done a lot of these things that I think Mississippi had to figure out as they were going. So that should, I think, make it a little bit better. The other thing is that the Department of Education can adjust that cut score, that minimum score that you have, to adjust how many kids are actually held back to make sure that it's a manageable number. So there's no hard limit in the bill that says you're going to hold back this many kids no matter what. It's you know, the Department of Education can look at it and say this is the best measure that we want, this is the minimum level we want, and they can, you know, adjust where the kids are gonna fall out based on that.
You did get some support even from Congress. In fact, U.S. Senator John Kennedy wrote, or he emailed us support for your bill, saying, so if you're a young person and after 3 tries you can't read in 3rd grade, we're going to ask you to try another year. We're going to pour the money into trying to help that child learn. What's your reaction?
Absolutely. Senator Kennedy's been a big supporter of this effort. You know, he's took it up the floor of the U.S. Senate and you know, in support of it. So I think it's something I thank him for, and I think it's been very instrumental in helping get it passed. In reality, this is something I think across the state, you know, there's a huge support for the idea that kids need to learn how to read at the end of 3rd grade before they get passed on. I mean, it's just kind of, most people think it's common sense and they can't believe that that's not a requirement right now. Yeah. And they recognize it. I mean, I'm a father of three kids. I have one that just left 3rd grade right now. I have one going into 2nd grade and one going into kindergarten. So they're in public school. This will affect my own kids, and I can just see, in, you know, reading with them every night, how important it is. And I think it's something that's existed in Louisiana as a problem that's been around for a really long time. And so addressing these literacy struggles instead of just sweeping it under the rug and hoping it all gets better, I think it's really the most important thing we can do to improve the future of our state.
All right, I read the bill and I read certain segments of it. One phrase jumped out at me. I told you that if I was a student and I was struggling with a subject and I saw this phrase, it would scare me. It said if a child cannot read at the grade level or cannot read, they would be getting intensive instructional service. So what does that mean?
Yes, that's a good point, is that we're not just holding the kids back and saying, you know, we're going to wash, rinse, repeat. I think a lot of people have a traditional, when they think of kids being held back, that's their traditional sense of it is, hey, we're just going to make them do it again. Really what it is we're going to hold you back, but we're going to give you a very literacy-focused year in 3rd grade so that you get basically 90 minutes of phonics-based instruction, intensive phonics-based instruction. You're going to have a highly effective teacher who is very good at teaching reading, so that you have those skills and you're set up to succeed. There's a variety of other things too, you know, a smaller class size, all these things that the schools can put together in order to make sure that you only get held back once, that then you're going to be on the right track going forward. And when you look at the research, it works, and I think that that's the most important thing. It's not just conjecture. In a state like Mississippi, which is very similar, has very similar challenges to us, it's had very, very promising results, and I think we can expect that here.
All right, Representative Richard Nelson, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.